Jesus in our gospel this Sunday cites the oldest law in the world. Ano yung law na yan? Mata sa mata, ngipin sa ngipin, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. Now, it has to be said that the intention of this law was very good. It was meant to limit violence and establish some kind of justice. A damage requires only an equivalent damage as a payment. A tooth for a tooth. However, Jesus wants to go beyond this, point and radicalize things. Jesus wants not simply for justice to be served, but for love to prevail. Again, Jesus wants not simply for justice to be served, ngunit ang ninanais niya na ang pag-ibig, ang pagmamahal, ang mangingibabaw. Love is not opposed to justice, but goes beyond it. It is said that love is willing the good of the other. Ang tunay, ang dalisay na pagmamahal ay nagnanais ng anumang ikabubuti ng kapwa. Sabi ni Jesus, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Ipagdasal mo yung mga taong umuusig sa iyo. And so the first thing we are called to do when we think of our enemies is to pray for them. Yan ang pinakaunang bagay na tinawag sa atin, na hinamon sa atin, na hamon sa atin kapag iniisip o naisip natin ng ating mga kaaway ay ang ipagdasal sila. Pray for them. Sabi ni Henry Nguyen, a very great spiritual writer, if we wish, kung ninanais natin o kung naisin natin na matutunan natin ang pagmamahal ng Diyos, umpisahan natin sa pagdarasal sa ating mga kaaway. Umpisahan natin sa pananalangin at pagdarasal sa mga taong umuusig sa atin. If we want to learn the love of God. Let us remember this: by loving our enemies and by praying for them, we eliminate our enemies. Why? Because we turn them into our friends. Thus, we unload ourselves of unnecessary burdens of keeping enemies. Kadalasan po tayo mismo ang gumagawa ng sarili nating burden, ng sarili nating pinapasan o pasanin. if we try to evaluate kung iisa-isihin po natin yung mga pinapasa natin ngayon, honestly, kadalasan, ito ay mga self-inflicted. Yung tayo mismo ang may gawa niyan. At meron tayong angking kakayanan upang i-unload, no? I-deskarga ito sa ating sarili. Most of the time, we do our self-inflicted sufferings. We make our own sufferings. And so, if love is willing the good of the other, kung ang tunay at dalisay na pagmamahal ay nagnanais ng ikabubuti ng iba, it means that love is not interested in the response of the one who is loved. Love does not ask for reciprocation. Ang tunay na nagmamahal, ay hindi nag-expect, hindi umaasa ng kapalit. Love is a participation in God's way of being, since God is love. As Jesus says so powerfully sa ating Ebanghelyo sa linggong ito, God makes His sun rise. No? Pinapasikat ng Diyos ang araw sa mga masasama at sa mga mabubuti, and causes the rain to fall on the just and the unjust. So this is indeed a very powerful statement. In effect, Jesus is telling us that God does not measure out His love or demand a response to it. God loves those who love Him, and He also loves those who don't love Him. He is loving to those who are just, and He is also loving to those who are unjust. Ganito umiibig, o ganito po umibig ang ating Panginoong Diyos. Ganito ang pag-ibig ng Diyos. This is also what Jesus expects from us, that we must love with the same reckless abandon. Sabi niya, if you love those who love you, what recompense will you have? Kung tayo'y namamansin, kung tayo umiibig lamang o nagmamahal sa mga taong gusto natin, sa pamilya natin, anong pagkakaiba ang ginagawa natin sa mga masasama? Ganon din ang ginagawa nila. They love their families. They love their friends. Walang pagkakaiba. Bilang mananampalataya ni Jesus, we have to go beyond. The test for us is this: would you love those who will not love you? Handa ba tayong magmahal sa mga taong hindi tayo kayang mahalin? O handa ba tayong magmahal sa mga taong hindi tayo mahal? It is in the light of this principle that we can begin to understand the radical teaching about loving our enemies, which is at the very heart of the Sermon on the Mount. Kaya napakagandang gawing punto ng ating pagninilay sa linggong ito. Oo nga, Kung ako ay nagmamahal at namamansin o nagmamahal lamang sa aking pamilya, sa mga taong kaibigan ko, ano ang pagkakaiba ko sa mga masasamang tao? Dahil sila nagmamahal din sa kanilang pamilya, nagmamahal din sa kanilang mga barkada. Anong pagkakaiba ko bilang Kristiyano? Anong pagkakaiba ko bilang manununod ni Jesus? And so, until I have learned this love of enemies, until I am willing and able to do good to those who would not do me any good at all, or those who even hurt me, wala akong pagkakaiba sa mga masasama. Kung kaya kong gawan ng kabutihan, ang walang kakayahang makapagbalik nito, kung kaya kong hangarin o naisin ang pinakamabuti para sa taong nakakasakit sa akin, kung kaya kong ipagdasal at mahalin ang kaaway ko, that is the best test of love. We have to emphasize that to love is not necessarily to like. Even though we do not like them, we should love our enemies by wanting the best in life that God can help us make available for them. Jesus is not asking for nice feelings which we cannot control. The Lord is asking us to want nothing but the highest good for someone. That we should take some initiative to reach out in forgiveness instead of seeking revenge or retaliation or an eye for an eye. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you.